Okay, so color grading in graphic design is an art of blending all your resources and images, blending it together in such a way that it has the same color theme. So, for instance, you can see all these examples I have here. As you can see, we have the same color theme here. We have the same thing here. We have the same thing here. We have the same thing here. And it's very important because you can't just mix different types of different kind of colors just randomly like that. And sometimes you need some kind of color themes. So color grading is quite I'll just try to keep it short, but it's quite it's not something that you just do straight, like you just press a button and it just work like that. That's only done in video editing softwares where you have things like LUTs that you can just apply. But for graphic design, you have to do it manually. So let's assume I want to create a movie poster with these two guys here. Let's say I want to create something with the two of them like this. So first of all, you have to create a color theme that you would like to use. So usually what I like to do, after going to image adjustment lab here, I'm going to reset this. So let me just duplicate this so that we'll see a before and after what we're doing. So if I go to effects, adjust, image adjustment lab. So here right now, let me reset. So the thing about color grading is that you play around with the temperature, the tints, the saturation, brightness, all these things. This is what you play around with. So usually I like to first start with my saturation. Sometimes I don't like too much color, but if you want the color, you can leave it there. You can increase the saturation, but usually I like to reduce it like this so to look more epic. So something like this. Then if I'm looking to counter the color here or move to another color, I can just use, as you can see, this part is this temperature here. We have from this kind of orange to this blue side. So I can maybe take it to the blue side a bit, something like this. So the idea here is just to play around with this thing. So you can even maybe reduce your brightness a bit or just touch your contrast. Just adjust it as you like. So let's assume I've gotten my color tone. As you can see, the color I'm looking at here, you see the difference between it and this first one. So I'm going to wipe the first one. Now, this other one here, let's assume I want to put this picture to go with the main character. So as you can see the importance of color grading right now. This image now has a kind of theme, you can see. Then you see this one here, it doesn't rhyme with this other guy here. This image here doesn't rhyme. So I have to color grade this one to look like this one so that to rhyme, so I can use two of them together to give you that nice sense. So I'm just going to, sometimes you might convert it to a bitmap first. If you try to go to image adjustment lab, sometimes it might not work. It might be giving you error. So after doing that, I'll go to my image adjustment lab here. I'm going to reset it. Now I'm going to reduce my saturation because I did it for this other one here. So I'm just going to do it until it looks like what I need. And I know this one looking a bit bluish here, so I'll need to just push this one to the blue side a bit. Push it and maybe bring my saturation back up a bit. Maybe still push. So the thing is that one image might need a different setting to the other one because of the extreme colors on one might be different from the other one. So I just take my saturation down again and just maybe just increase this thing. Maybe my brightness go down a bit. Maybe my contrast can can just play around with your contrast. So my saturation, I can still bring it up a bit, like so. I'll say okay, as you can see. So other things you can also do too is go to effect, adjust. You can use your tone curve here, contrast enhancement, and all this. All these things are very nice tools that are in CorelDRAW here that you can use for your color grading. Usually, sometimes I still use my tone curve sometimes, some extreme measures that maybe I will need some kind of enhancement in terms of the brightness and so on. So I'll use this thing to enhance. So it's something you have to use your natural eye to look at it and say, okay, yes, this thing is done the way I want it, like that. So sometimes, like this one, if you're not, if you are going at extreme measures and it's not working, you cannot apply a preset, then you can convert it to a bitmap like this. Then you can now go again and go to your image adjustment lab again and reset it. Now you have the former one applied, and you can still do some more color grading on top the new bitmap image you created, so to give you more advantage, as you can see. So that's just basically it. This is something you need to try on your own and practice much, and you just automatically get the hang of how it's done. As you can see this, you can see this image for this poster here. As you can see, Haaland, you see the color here. You see De Bruyne, you see the color difference. As you can see, you see Benzema here. You see the color difference. Because all this is just color grading. So just practice it with different images, and with time you get very, very good at it.